Hey Scorpios, and welcome to your April 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead, and a beautiful month for you guys. I really feel like you are finally coming back into yourself here. We finally got past that equinox time on March 20th, and coming into the end of March and the beginning of April, I really feel like you're kind of a different person in many ways. It feels like April is a balancing month, and kind of what I want to say is like a defaulting month where you don't necessarily have to make very important decisions. It feels like a gift of time again, and January and February were kind of this for you as well, but that was kind of a toxic gift of time. In a sense, you had to really cleanse a lot out, and March became like the epicenter of that, and I feel that March was actually quite destructive for a lot of Scorpios. Only those of you who had something coming from the previous year cycle in 2017 that was really chaotic or really traumatic. For those of you who had a more smooth experience of 2017, you truly can thrive the most here, I feel, especially if you've been able to continue that momentum. I feel that most Scorpios have been able to let go of a lot, though, and that's the most important thing coming into April, is not being that bound down by many things. Having freedom, having mobility, having options under your belt is really important, and not options in the same way that it was in like 2017. These are the types of options that don't demand sudden decisions with very quick consequences and limitations following alongside. This month, Scorpio is beautiful, but you do start to see when things are so incredible how much transformation that demands, how much you have to be able to let go of as well, because you are still remembering some difficulties of the past. And I feel that you are integrating these types of memories with incredible new present experiences. And this integration kind of generates the next goals and aspirations for you. It's a very blended type of month. Most often we have all the different sectors of our life, right? Like we have career, we have relationships, we have family, and many other for different types of people. This month feels like a combination of all of these things, like a blending where you almost only have like one sector and it is a culmination of all these things. And I feel like this is a good goal for Scorpio. With Jupiter being in your sign right now, you can check the top right hand corner to see the Jupiter and Scorpio video. It kind of needs a cultivation of a new sphere of reactions in general. So Scorpio has a very one-track mind sometimes. You're a fixed water sign. So if you're like really focusing on fixing your career, or really focusing on fixing your relationships, everything else can kind of fall away. And I feel this is why everything has to be blended together, because Scorpio needs to thrive in all departments, starting in April actually. So it should kind of become very smooth. I feel you enter into April with a sudden abundance, like a bonus or a promotion or a change in career, more confidence in relationships. For those of you who are single, you can meet somebody here or take a relationship to the next level. For those of you who are coupled, it feels like things which have threatened the relationship do start to become less problematic, or you just easily start to be able to distance yourself too. I think Scorpio's mind has been very obsessed with fixing things from the past, apologizing, transforming difficult experiences. And coming into April, you're able to drop that. And this is the biggest miracle, I feel, and part of the Jupiter gift and benevolence is the ability to distance your mind from extremely painful things of the past. It also feels like you are having a majorly different sensory experience this month. So some of you may be vacationing, working abroad, or moving, something that makes you feel like a different environment. And I feel that this is so important. It feels like you travel through like 3 or 4 different realities this month, or it's like the portal energy again, like I mentioned in my equinox video. We're all kind of at a portal, and it feels that Scorpio has already gone through it coming into April. Good job. I don't feel like you needed to linger there for too long. The only red flag that I feel of this month is not having faced something. So what did you need to face at the end of March that you ended up not being able to? It's important to prioritize your health, important to, if the dental work needs to be done, or or whatever it is that you've needed to have done or looked at that you've been like putting off because it's like worrisome to you. It's a good time to get those types of things out of the way, because as we keep moving forward in this Jupiter cycle for Scorpio, as we like move into the summer and towards the end of 2018, it's going to be very active. You're going to like need to be on your game. Like you don't need to be having the toothaches or the parasites or anything that is just one of those things that builds over time and you sort of can put out of your mind until it becomes like a major problem, you know? Hopefully you've been able to come out of March sort of kicking an addiction or no longer just using your mind in the same way. That's an important thing for Scorpio. You have the High Priestess reversed and Temperance reversed in your reading, which has a lot to do with your with the formula your mind follows, as well as the balance of like hormones and chemicals in the body. That is feeling worrisome to Scorpio, and that makes sense. Jupiter in your chart, in your home sign, definitely can expand hormonal imbalances, chemical imbalances, and make them very obvious. And this is actually a gift because then you can work with it, you know, and you can see more clearly where the issues are coming from. And having Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune in your reading, it says to me that you can transform that and you have the money to do that, or you have the time to do that. There is a gift of something to be able to solve old health problems or old difficult experiences of the past. Another big thing about this month before I get into the week to week is definitely allowing yourself to be lucky and allowing yourself to just be a little bit different. I think I've kind of mentioned this already. It's important that you're not being like that person from 2015 or 16 or 17, or there has to be something that feels brand new to you. And it's okay if you're still battling with some old cycles. That's not so much a problem. But if there's still this lingering feeling of insatiability or inability to adapt to in your environment, really listen to the universe, really listen to your guides, listen to the path that's being generated. And that's kind of a strange concept, like listening to your path, because Scorpio is very ambitious sometimes and can get very detail oriented when they're, you know, forming their path. They're setting a goal, they're you know, finding where the linear pathway is. It's not so linear in this cycle, and you have to remember that. So maybe you don't accomplish the goal in the way that you thought that you would, or something changes about your plans. Try to not necessarily associate this with the goal being unaccomplishable. It probably just means you're taking a different route that could be a shortcut or could make things even better in the long run. Because with this transit, the end game does not change. The destination does not change, but the pathway is very flexible and very hard to almost make linear. So remember that, and try to not be too just upset by people not being quite what you expected them to be, the past not coming forward in the same way that it used to, money not quite coming in the way that you expected it. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Money's a thing. Watch out for too much debt. Watch out for spending out of your future. Really try to not be too frugal, because if you're taking away too much from yourself, that causes a problem too. Find the balance. Like Temperance, it's reversed. There's a little bit of a struggle. It's like you either are spending nothing and really giving yourself a hard time with money or energy, or you're like going way crazy and over the top. So find that middle zone, that gray zone, and that will show you something about like the way that you react to like the chemical or hormonal imbalances should start to balance out as well through finding that in a more physical, tangible way. Anyway, Scorpios, to get into your week to week, week number 1, you have Wheel of Fortune rooted down by the High Priestess reversed. Something is not intuitive anymore. Something about the work that you do or about the way that you're gaining in life, whether that be money or energy, is feeling more difficult to articulate, more difficult to put together or schedule. We are just coming out of Pisces time and moving into Aries time there. So it will be really good, I think, to check your business structure, to check the way that you make money, the way that you go about accomplishing your goals in general, like how you plan out your schedules. Very small kind of subtle things, I think, are responsible for this chaos. Because I feel like for most Scorpios in March, like a middle of March, towards end of March, depending, something about your schedule or your work became like impossible to deal with or very worrisome. And you're like, oh my gosh, Jupiter's in my sign. I shouldn't be having this. I shouldn't be having this extreme difficulty here. And there's like this worry coming into April. Do you remember that March signified a lot for you, Scorpio? For those of you who had like really busy days, or like we're like working a lot. That's really hard in March for Scorpio. It's Pisces time, and it requires all the water signs especially to be really present for themselves, hyper aware of the emotional complexes and subtleties, and putting a lot of time towards healing and rest. So if you're having to work a lot, that can kind of undermine that. I think that your work is good. I think that what you're doing is on a really good path. So try to not let what happened in March there, or that discouragement, define how you start out here, because it's going to feel completely different moving into this type of energy. Although do allow yourself to think about how you can change it, or how you can make it function like a more well-oiled machine, because it does feel like maybe your means of production might just be a little bit outworn or not in alignment with how you can actually function now. It actually feels like you can take on more, to be honest, but the way that maybe you're taking on less is so outworn that it burns through the energy as if you were doing like double the work or something. Week number 2, Judgment rooted down by Temperance reversed. You know, there's such a good parallel there with the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment being upright, the High Priestess and Temperance being reversed. Such an incredible dose of universal major arcana energy in such a balanced way coming in. And the irony of that is that the two ones that deal with actual balance are the ones in reverse. I also think that it's beautiful that Judgment and Temperance are together like that. Like, they're both winged. I think that it could be argued that the angel in Temperance is the same as the one in Judgment. I mean, their wings are the same color. They have like the same lovely hairstyle and nice spray tan going on there. It's really, maybe you just need a nice new like hair color and a nice spray tan, and so, like a nice new white gown or something, Scorpios. Maybe this is exactly what you need. I'm kidding. But it is feeling like a change in aesthetic or a change in appearance would be good, if that feels right to you. Also, like, all of these cards are like wearing white and blue, so maybe white and blue are good colors for you to have around, cause a lot of healing to happen. Maybe brighter, although I mean, you have King of Wands, and I mean, there's some brightness going on there, but really try to think about how you are appearing and how your aesthetic is, because it's not something for other people. Like, a lot of people think, okay, I need to look good for other people, but I do feel like there's something directly involved with how you are projecting yourself that does represent your emotional health, and that is doing a lot better. Emotional health is coming back here, so why not let that appear on the outside as well. But the second week of April, Scorpios, really feels like a complete transformation, a complete change, very extreme sensory experiences, wonderful trips or vacations could happen there, or transformations to your business, transformations to yourself, obviously your aesthetic. Don't be afraid with that energy to heal. With Temperance reversed, there could be like this fear of healing, or this wondering within you if maybe you need to stay damaged to continue learning the lesson. I really feel like you can turn that right side up and truly learn the balance there, and start to transmute some of that pain from the last like 4 or 5 year cycle into incredible motivation for yourself. And better than everything, just be able to let it go and turn over new scenarios, turn over new experiences of life. Third week, King of Wands reversed, rooted down by 7 of Swords. That's the only problem area I feel like for this month. You could feel like you don't know where your confidence lies, like you don't know who is on your side, who is against you. It's really important to weed this type of person out of your life at this point in time. You've had the 7 of Swords person on your mind for a while. Perhaps this was somebody that you were once in love with. Perhaps this is somebody who took something from you and you don't know how to react, you don't know how to respond. It's important to just be able to let go, because I do think at this point in time your creative energy is being stifled by this type of person. You should know exactly who I'm talking about. Maybe for some Scorpios you've already been able to move on, but a lot of you do have like that person from your past who is like, well, do I reach back out to them? Do I just move on? They did kind of take something from you. They may have even just painted you in a certain way that is not true, and you're wondering, okay, how do I deal with this? Honestly, that first and second week, Scorpio dealt with it. Even if you didn't get your chance to, have your last word, or to necessarily convey yourself in the way that you deserved, karma's taking care of it, and the universe is taking care of it. You don't really have to worry. If you've been pure of heart, and I can make a whole video on pureness of heart, but if you've really been connected to your morals, tried to do the right thing, really tried to not give other people difficult situations just for the sake of it, you know, the universe will come through for you and show these people the truth and show you the truth. And I feel overwhelmingly that the truth will come out. So whether that be a nice or difficult experience for you or them, that's not so important. But the truth does become apparent for sure. And moving forward from that, you can just begin to let go. You can just begin to release it, because that's all that matters. And Scorpio gets caught there. Scorpio gets caught, like, even if the truth is known, even if people can see how things actually were, sometimes you still want to go out with like guns ablaze and like really dramatize this type of experience for other people. To put it in more layman's terms, sort of like the I told you so type of issue that you take on a lot. So somebody might realize, oh yeah, I was the problem, you were right, and I totally painted you in a bad environment. Try to not be that Scorpio that was like, yeah, I told you so, how stupid do you feel now? Or yeah, look at how much I've benefited through your suffering, or anything like that. Really watch out for that type of mentality. Just be able to sort of walk away, and be able to fly away, you know, judgment and temperance and flying. And flying in general, like, where do you need to fly to? Go abroad, go different places, go traveling, do something to get away from the place that Seven of Swords person has inhabited. Try to be in a different sensory environment if you can be. Fourth week, Seven of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by Nine of Cups. So reassessing energy, reassessing finances, reassessing your budgets, definitely gets a lot of luck here. So again, bonuses, promotions, more money, even lottery type of energy as well with the Wheel of Fortune in your reading too. Whatever major bonus you get here or major income, try to really manage that well. There is something with Seven of Pentacles reversed, maybe you're kind of upset about how you've been managing your finance, how you've been managing your energetic investment. And this does have a lot to do with the portal that you're at. Nine of Cups to me is always a gatekeeper type of energy. What's the password? What's the where's the key to unlock this door? I'm looking for the Hierophant to come up for you next month. I really hope it does, because it does feel like you're still kind of standing at a locked door despite having made so much progress. It's like you've illuminated the entire room leading up to it, but you're still kind of trying to manage and navigate where this next portal actually is. So you sort of get a taste of it in April. You sort of get a taste of the new place or the new job or the new way of being. Although you do have to kind of come back. You have to kind of come back at the end and go about the old location before the new one is completely given to you. It's almost like a testing time. This really is a testing time for you. And with Four of Wands as your central theme, it really feels like you come out of it with flying colors, really having engaged the energy, really having committed to your growth. That's the most important thing. It is a marriage month. Some of you could get married or engaged, Four of Wands. But most importantly, it's that commitment and marriage to yourself and your goals and your ability to overcome. I love seeing Four of Wands over those four cards right there, you know, Judgment, Temperance, King of Wands, and Seven of Swords, because that's like the whole package for you guys. I feel like that's the whole experience, you know, rising above, you know, being that eagle archetype of Scorpio, and rising above that Seven of Swords, and, you know, reclaiming your creative energy with King of Wands reversed. And anyway, Scorpio, this is a beautiful month, the best month that you've had in a long, long time. Just remember to keep moving forward and to keep up with these new experiences, these new chapters, and try to not regress down to the 2017 year cycle. You've come past it. It's over. It's sort of not a good use of time to be in memory lane or flashbacks or obsessing over the past. You must embrace the present and the future now, and by default, embrace yourself and your own projects and goals. Anyway, if this reading has been good for you guys, you can click the center of the screen to subscribe to my channel. Your likes and comments make my day. I am on Twitter and Instagram. I post a lot of updates there. That's in the description box. And I'm also on Patreon, and you can check out some of the things there as well. Anyway, I will be seeing you guys in May. Much love. Bye.